I want to talk with Jack and Shana about People's Revolution. Hi, guys.
Hi, Noah.
Hi, Noah.
Hi, guys. Hi, Jack. Hi, Shana. How you guys doing?
Good. How are you?
Awesome. I'm doing well. Thank you. So I'll let you guys introduce yourselves to everyone, and then we can talk a little bit more about what's going on, what you guys have been doing. Like, just tell me just about yourselves, what you've been doing, and then we'll get straight into the nitty gritty.
Shana, you want to start?
I'm Shana East. I'm we're an organizer with the People's Revolution, and right now our primary objective is organizing the People's Convention, which is a one-day event that's being held at the Arch Street Meeting House in Philadelphia, July 23rd.
Awesome.
Go ahead, Jay.
My name's Jackrabbit, and like Shana said, with Shana, we're putting together the People's Convention, and I've been doing radical organizing since Occupy Wall Street, in New York, in 2011. Worked with, helped to found Occupy, which was a communications working group that grew out of Occupy. I provided logistical support to Ferguson Action and Movement for Black Lives more recently, and Sean and I have been working on Illinois for Bernie for the past year, and up until we started doing the People's Revolution, and now we're organizing for this convention that I'm very happy to say that Anoa is a part of, which is pretty awesome. Thanks for that, Anoa.
Thank you guys for having me. I'm excited to be involved. Yeah, so these two, I've mentioned it maybe once before when I first started coming on Ben's show, just for a little background. Back last summer, after the Netroots incident, the insurrection happened with Bernie Sanders and Black Lives Matter activists at Netroots. These two awesome people were among a crew that put together this really great call for people of color who supported Bernie Sanders. And it was like sometime like whenever that happened, like what was it, mid-July or so, late July. But it was like the most awesome call I had been on. I actually met like a few people that I'm very close to and have done all this work with over the time. But like, so these folks are like master organizers trying to pull people together. So if you guys could explain just a little bit more about like what exactly is the People's Convention? What's the aim? What are we hoping to accomplish? Who's involved?
A lot of folks, have been campaigning. Sorry, I'm a little awkward with this hangout thing, but
no, you're fine. You're doing fine. Don't look at us. Look at the camera.
Okay, I'm gonna look at the camera. So a lot of us have been organizing for Bernie Sanders' campaign for over a year. There's delegates, volunteers, former staff members. Just a bunch of grassroots people as well, who a lot of people are getting, engaged in politics for the first time, and people are wondering, what's going to happen next, where there's a lot of organizations popping up or events and things like that. So basically this was just an event that we thought to put on, because a lot of people are going to be in Philadelphia at that time. We thought what better place to have this event take place. We were hoping for it to be like a few-day thing, but it was really, with the amount that it costs to rent places and, just the logistics of organizing from afar. Right now we're working on a one-day event and just bringing together organizers from around the country that have maybe only worked together remotely and are going to be in Philadelphia anyways at that time. Some delegates that are going to participate in the DNC convention a couple days later. Ours is right before the DNC starts. So we're trying to set the tone sort of for what's going to come up that week with all the different rallies and things like that, sort of a spirit of cooperation and collaboration and solidarity is what we're trying to do. And I'll let Jack speak also on what we're doing.
No, I mean, obviously you're spot on with all that stuff. Just what I'm going to talk about just real briefly is what we have planned for the event itself. As I mentioned a second ago, Anoa is working on the racial justice issue statement for what we've called the People's Platform. And that's the ratification of that People's Platform is going to be like one of the two central events of the day. And the People's Platform is basically an experiment in radical democracy. We're trying to bring grassroots organizers and grassroots groups from around the country that are working on different issues, the most important issues that we face today, bringing people together and collaborating across different groups to be able to provide solutions for things like climate justice, wealth and income inequality, the issue of living wage or basic income, for example, and to kind of like work collaboratively across different groups and across constituencies to be able to build a platform that is actually contributed to by the public at large and is available and accessible to people to be able to comment on and to amend. The idea being that we will have an actual document that is a statement, a policy statement written by the people that is specifically for the people. So we're really excited about that. I'm really excited about that. And additionally, we're going to have an organizing space that's set aside and designated specifically to be able to have people from all different areas come together to talk about what we can do to build a real movement going forward. So because that space needs to happen because we do feel that it's important to be able to have rallies and marches and demonstrations. We think that those are absolutely essential to a vibrant democracy, but that there also needs to be an association with that, some organizing that happens, and creating some kind of a framework for an ongoing movement.
Right.
There's got to be more than just public demonstrations. So that's kind of what we've got planned.
So awesome. So just thinking about, so you just mentioned the people's platform. So what are the areas we've narrowed down just for everyone? Because basically there was a public process for people to participate in, and we kind of narrowed it down to several certain sections to focus on, at least initially, in getting this done. So what are the sections we're just kind of looking at, and then how are we envisioning this process from the drafting going forward?
I can say what the different planks are because I have my little chart right here that I can refer to.
I love it.
Racial justice, climate justice, income and wealth inequality, a living wage, getting big money out of politics, healthcare for all, electoral reform, and free college and student debt relief.
Nice. Okay. So basically, right, we have volunteers like myself who've come on board to help draft, the different sections of the plank, the issue statements. What process, like, what are we doing? Are we working with trying to reach out to other groups? Is there anyone else who's come on board to kind of help with any of those areas? Just kind of just give me a little bit, just walk me through kind of like what we're hoping for, okay, we get these issue statements, we get these planks done, and we're going to try and ratify them. Like, are we hoping for people to basically present them that day? Do people vote on them? Are we going to have some other presentation process before we actually get to Philly? Like, what are we looking like at with the planks and how we're with the planks and how we're making the decision making. Do
you want me to take this, Sean, or do you want to do this?
If you think I should, then it's fine.
No, I'm happy to take this one and jump in if where you need. So yeah, the idea here is that in one day, it's not really going to be. It's not realistic to think that a group of a variety of people can come together a group of people can come together to be able to put together a real document that is thoughtful and meaningful and has actual impact. What we're doing is we are the process that we have is we've reached out to a number of different organizers and organizations to be able to create the initial platform plank statement. And so that's the first part. So a good example of what we've got going on is with the Money Out of Politics platform plank. And for there we have a very diverse group of we have people from Represent Us, Move to Amend,
Nice.
Democracy Spring, 9 Rise. So it's a number of different groups and organizations, and actually also Fair Vote, which is a great organization dealing with electoral reform. And those groups are all, representatives of those groups are all taking part in this platform process. So they're providing their input. And there's one individual, Elizabeth Lindquist, who is kind of like basically taking all this input and will be producing a platform plank. That draft is going to be put out to is going to be presented to anybody and everybody to take a look at. Comments will be added, amendments will be proposed, and the people who are involved in the process can respond to that, take that input, and do what they will with it.
Okay.
Then after that time of kind of feedback and revision, we will hopefully what we imagine to have is that we will then have our final platform statement. And that will then be presented to be voted on by the public. So everyone will have the opportunity, everybody who's interested will have a period of time to be able to take a look at that at a range of platform planks, because we're trying to be both coherent and impactful, and yet at the same time inclusive. And so what we're doing is we're very intentionally trying to put together an organization of the writing of these planks, but also keep it open to be able to provide an opportunity for the public to be able to weigh in a democratic way. So at the once we have the cutoff date, which is I believe right now we have July 30th. At that point, we will have an open period of voting where people will be able to vote on the different platform planks, and the one that gets the most votes will be the one that ends up on the people's platform, and that will happen in advance. That will happen in advance of the convention itself, so that people will have an opportunity to know what it is that they are coming to ratify. And I just want to point out that this is still. It's still in the proposal stage. Mm-hmm. We're still developing the specifics of how this is going to end up going, but for the most part, that's what we've got set up right now. So
sounds good.
Shana can weigh in if there's something that I missed or that I left out. Shana.
No, that was pretty comprehensive. I second that.
So what, if anything, you guys, your 1 minute elevator pitch, what people know? Definitely, we've been tweeting out the Twitter link for People's Revolution. You guys definitely check out People's Revolution on Facebook as well. And there's the website is it the People's Revolution, or is it just people'srevolution.org?
It's thepeoplesrevolution.org.
Thepeoplesrevolution.org. So just closing arguments. What do people need to know? What do people need to do? What do you guys need from us?
We need your help. That's my pitch. Sign up on the website. Come to the event on July 23rd. If you're in Philadelphia, come to Arch Street Meeting House. It starts at 10, but be there a little bit early because it's first come, first served. It's a true people's convention. It's going to be free to the public. We need to raise the money necessary because we want it to be totally accessible to people, that there's no barriers, based on finances or anything like that. So please come to the People's Convention on July 23rd in Philadelphia. And find us on Facebook, Twitter, on our website, and get involved before that. And I'll let Jack do the other 30 seconds.
So yeah, I'm just gonna, like, my pitch is just gonna be, the People's Revolution. The People's Convention is a new method for organizing and coalition building. Participation is based on a shared desire for more open, inclusive, and representative democratic institutions. Regular people need new and better ways to have a voice in the political process. And the People's Revolution is recruiting a broad and diverse range of participants who coalesce around a set of decision-making processes that are intentionally designed for inclusivity and direct participation. So, yeah, there's that.
I think we got it covered.
I think you guys got it covered. I think you guys rock. And I think that, in 2 weeks or so, when we're looking at the final drafts coming back in, I think we should all come back together and have another conversation and follow up. Just kind of to give an update on where things are going and what we're looking for going towards Philly. So I appreciate you guys. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you so much, Anoa. It's really important that you're part of this, so thanks so much.
Well, it's really important that you want me here, so I appreciate you guys. And I look forward to seeing you guys this weekend in Chicago. That's going to be exciting as well.
Yeah.
So
can't wait.
All right, bye now.
All right, good night, guys. I told you guys, look, it's a lot of great work going on. People are really doing really great things. Definitely go to thepeoplesrevolution.org and sign up, read more about what's going on. I think there might even be a few areas that still need input, and even if there are drafts of the planks are already being drafted. However, if you have some thoughts, if you think you have some expertise in the area, or you just want to express your voice, definitely get involved and see what you can do to pitch in. So I think David has already been tweeting out the link for their Twitter account, but definitely go to thepeoplesrevolution.org and check them out on Facebook. So yeah.